getting started hunting out west. So I'm new to western big game hunting. Never done any hunting out west before, and I'm gonna start applying for things and try to get into this. And I'm gonna log the process with these YouTube videos here. Now, a little bit about myself. I grew up in the Midwest, hunting whitetail, small game, birds, things like that. For the past 15 years or so, I've been out here doing the West Coast sport fishing thing in San Diego. So that's pretty much occupied all my sporting time. And I gotten to the point with that where I have a successful pattern that I'm comfortable with. I do this. I have a thing that I do every year, and it works out well for me, and I like that. So now that I'm comfortable with that, I kind of want to expand to maybe do some more big game hunting out west, because it's big and new. So my experience with, just to kind of like relate the situation, I grew up in the Midwest, and I hunted out there, and I fished out there, and I've been other places sport fishing. And so sport fishing was my exposure to West Coast outdoors activities. And so West Coast sport fishing is way different than anything else that you can experience in any other kind of fishing. Like it's its own culture out here. So my experience with that was, it's pretty intimidating at first. But the way that I went about that is I just jumped in head first. I was really aggressive about it, and I'd go and make my mistakes and kind of log them all along the way, and be very observant as to lessons learned, get mentorship whenever the opportunity presented itself, pay attention around me, see who was successful and what they were doing differently than I was. And so that's my exposure to Western sports, and outdoor sports, and I see a parallel in hunting, as though, there's pretty much, so far as I can tell, there's pretty much nothing in common with the type of hunting that I grew up doing and the hunting out here. So it should be fun, and I'm gonna try to approach it the same way. You gotta be fishing to catch fish. You gotta have a line in the water to catch fish. So I'm just gonna start applying and learn as I go. I'm gonna start logging the process where I'm gonna manage short-term and long-term goals. So I got to start building points, and I gotta mix in some applications to where I'm statistically likely to be able to actually get out in the field and start accumulating experience. I'm gonna be hunting on public land. I'm gonna be using the GoHunt app, or the GoHunt research platform there, to inform my decisions through the application and electronic scouting process. So I currently plan on and I'll be hunting with a rifle. I don't have archery equipment. I've used archery equipment in the past for deer, but right now I got a rifle. That's what works. So that's what I'm gonna apply for. So I'm gonna base my applications on. This year, I plan on applying in Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and Wyoming, and possibly adding the states of Nevada, Utah, and Idaho. We'll kind of see how that goes. First things first, I'm just gonna get out there and start doing it. The goal for my applications this year is I want to give myself a decent chance at a quality antelope hunt. I'd like to do that. So I'm going to try to plan a quality one with all the elements that you'd expect from an ideal hunt. And then I'm going to try for closer to a sure thing with respect to the deer species. And so like mule deer and whitetail, goose deer, that kind of thing. And then I'm going to pretty much swing for the fences on everything else. You know, I don't have the preparations to hunt huge game animals like an elk per se. But I'll just apply for the absolute best hunts where I have like next to no likelihood of drawing a tag. And, you know, if that seems to come true, then I'll just kind of scramble to fill in the blanks later. So that's the plan. That's what it is, and I'll let you know what I find out next.